Menglaba, welcome to Myanmar Today. I'm Henry Zin. Here are the latest news and reports. Myanmar's finished jams and jewelry businesses urgently need to catch up with neighboring countries. Next, 3 Myanmar boxers winning in UMTA Lethwei Challenge 2020. A story coverage on world's largest lesson that will be held on Wednesday. And the last report on split view on poultry-fish farming. Before we get to the reports, why don't we have a look at what's happening in local news. State Councillor and Union Minister for Foreign Affairs of the Republic of the Union of Myanmar, Daw San Suu Kyi, received Ms. Akwa Sakiwa Ahankora, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Republic of Ghana, to the Republic of the Union of Myanmar at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Naypyidaw on Tuesday. During the meeting, the leaders cordially exchanged views on matters of promoting bilateral relations, expanding bilateral cooperation, including trade and investment, people-to-people exchanges, education, and vocational training between Myanmar and Ghana. Union Minister for Education Dr. Myo Thaingji held a meeting in Naypyidaw on Tuesday on the matters related to higher education. The Union Minister discussed KG+12 basic education system from 2016 to 2022 and preparations for developing university curricula that are compatible with the said system. He also suggested implementing digital technology at the universities, conducting 4-year teacher training courses beginning December this year, post-graduation courses, diploma courses, teaching, learning methods, research works, anti-narcotic campaigns, and generating qualified teachers. Union Minister for Health and Sports Dr. Myan Tui made suggestions on importance of education for the development of the country, supports to state-owned and private universities, research development of universities, improving exam systems, and effective use of libraries by the students. Union Minister for Investments and Foreign Economic Relations, U Thong and Union Minister for Hotels and Tourism, U Mount, attended a meeting on sustainable tourism industry in the Ninai region. Union Minister U Mount said, as there are many pleasant islands off the coast of the Ninai region, and that the investors of tourism industry are to avoid possible damages of these natural resources. He also called for promoting traditional cultures of local Salon people in the area. Union Minister U Thong also discussed conservation of natural heritage such as coral reefs, biodiversity, and marine lives, together with socially responsible investing based on desire, knowledge, and skills not to damage the environment. He also advised to develop master plans for the trips to islands and for Miek Archipelago, with reviewing the existing development projects. A carcass of Ayeyarwady dolphins, an endangered species, was found on Tuesday floating in the Ayeyarwady River in Madaya Township of Mandalay region. A dolphin conservationist with the Wildlife Conservation Society said the dolphin was the biggest one to be found dead in the river. The dolphin measured over 7 feet in length and was aged between 30 and 50, according to conservationists. The conservationists found and inspected the carcass after travelers from a watercraft informed them about a dolphin floating in the river. The carcass was buried near the beach. Its skeleton will be displayed at the Dolphin Museum. This is the first dolphin death recorded in 2020. From Saturday to Monday, a Portugal-based Vandal Say Films shot scenes in Yangon, including cultural heritage buildings, and also captured the traditional culture of Myanmar for a documentary film. The team captured people participating in sports events held to mark the Independence Day, water transportation in the Yangon River, the Yangon Dalat Jetty, colonial buildings on Pensudan Road, the daily life of the people along the Circular Railroad, and Myanmar traditional performance at the Karawik Palace Hotel. The documentary will be released under the title The Journey. That's all with the local news, and here's the first report on Myanmar Today. Myanmar is rich in natural resources and it produces world-renowned precious gems. Myanmar's finished gems and jewelry urgently need to catch up with neighboring countries. The government encourages the production and sales of processed gems. Agacho reports.
Myanmar's finished gems and jewelry urgently need to catch up with the neighboring countries. Myanmar is rich in natural resources and precious stones. Gems emporiums are held more frequently to promote the gems and jewels market in the country. However, the exhibitions mostly showcase the unprocessed gems, and the sales of the processed gems and jewels need to improve. The government encourages exhibitions of processed gems such as rubies, sapphires, and jade, as well as locally made jewelry to add value to the gemstones and create new markets for local entrepreneurs. However, Myanmar urgently needs to catch up with its neighboring countries in businesses of the processed gems and jewelries. Uti-Hantat, spokesperson of Yangon International Gems and Jewelry Fair, said.
The gems processing in other countries have improved. Thailand, Vietnam, and China are good examples. Their tech is good. Myanmar needs to improve crafting to rake in more income rather than selling the raw stones. The government banned stones mining to promote conservation, so the number of raw stones production dropped. Selling polished Myanmar jewelry is new here, but the international exhibition showcases the product made from our raw stones, so we want to bring the potential and market back to Myanmar to promote sales of gems and jewels made and polished in Myanmar.
Myanmar is rich in natural resources, and it produces world-renowned precious gems like rubies, sapphires, jade, and other semi-precious gems like spinels, aquamarines, garnets, and peridots. Moreover, Myanmar's South Sea cultural pearls are also popular among the wearers. Myanmar is famous for its abundant supply of various gems. Known around the world, the high-quality jades are found in Longkin, Pakan tracts. World-famous rubies are found in Mogo and Mangshu gem tracts respectively. Sapphire and various colored gems are produced on a large scale in Mogo Gems tract. Myanmar Gems Enterprise is taking supervision and allowing permit for local private entrepreneurs who wish to make joint venture production with the nation on mutual benefit, allowing to produce in the tracts. Myanmar Gems Enterprise also organizes emporiums and special sales 3 times a year for the productive jades and gems sale. Moreover, Myanmar Gems Enterprise also encourages gems and jewelry traders to allow permit so that the jewelry shops are being developed and the market takes place in Yangon. The Myanmar Gems Enterprise issued a directive banning jade mining and extraction in response to recent disasters. The statement points out recent collapses and landslides resulting in deaths and damages to machinery, local houses, and infrastructure. A decade of large-scale mining has left the region and its people utterly scarred. The government has finally taken action to prevent further environmental degradation and mining disasters. The Ministry of Natural Resources and Environmental Conservation have recommended discontinuing mining and take corrective fiscal policies, ethical regulatory frameworks, and new licenses have been implemented. Domyin Tanai, spokesperson of the Yangon International Gems and Jewelry Fair, said.
The first seal-bid auction was highlighted at the second Yangon International Gems and Jewelry Fair 2019. And it was the great opportunity for overseas buyers as well as the local buyers. There will be the second seal-bid auction as well as the Gems Forum at the third Yangon International Gems and Jewelry Fair 2020 to promote and expand the gems industry of Myanmar internationally.
This is Agajo reporting for Myanmar International Radio.
That's a report on Myanmar's finished gems and jewelry businesses urgently needing to catch up with neighboring countries. Alright, it's time now to check on the weather forecast in Myanmar. There's plenty of sunshine in Yangon, but bear in mind, air quality will be unhealthy for sensitive groups during the day. Expect highest temperatures of 34 degrees Celsius and the lowest of 18 degrees Celsius. In Naypyidaw, a pleasant weather with mostly sunny conditions during the day. Expect highest temperature of 32 degrees Celsius and the lowest of 14 degrees Celsius. It's a nice weather with sunny to partly cloudy conditions in Mandalay during the day. Expect highest temperature of 28 degrees Celsius and the lowest of 15 degrees Celsius. Well, we have another report coming up, and then we'll check on the stocks and currency exchange rates. Union of Myanmar Travel Association UMTA, in partnership with Myanmar Lethwei Asia 1, held Myanmar-Thailand-Lao Myanmar Traditional Boxing International Challenge, organized by Myanmar Traditional Boxing Federation at Thainphu Stadium in Yangon on Monday. The boxing event is aimed at propagating Myanmar traditional boxing and achieving more success in Myanmar traditional boxing in the international community. Another aim of holding the event is to develop and promote sport tourism sector with the guidance of the Ministry of Hotels and Tourism and the Ministry of Health and Sports.
Union of Myanmar Travel Association UMTA, in partnership with Myanmar Lethwei Association, held Myanmar-Thailand-Laos Myanmar Traditional Boxing International Challenge, organized by Myanmar Traditional Boxing Federation at Thainphu Stadium, Yangon on 6th January. The boxing event is aimed at propagating Myanmar traditional boxing and achieving more success in Myanmar traditional boxing in the international community. Another aim of holding the event is to develop and promote sports tourism sector with the guidance of the Ministry of Hotels and Tourism and the Ministry of Health and Sports. Uwazo Wimian, chairman of Myanmar Lethwei Association, said,
The aim of holding this regular boxing event is to develop boxing sports of our country. It is also aimed at preserving Myanmar traditional boxing sports and propagating it across the world. Myanmar traditional boxers are to try harder, but this event is better. It is also intended to help improve sport tourism of Myanmar by promoting Myanmar traditional boxing.
The international challenge is inclusive of 7 fights. The boxers from Myanmar, Thailand, and Laos who have won the support of the fans are going to fight in the boxing matches. In addition to 7 fights of the international challenge, Myanmar's 6 would-be famous boxers, including Zin Ray, fought in 3 boxing matches in accordance with Myanmar traditional boxing rules. Unau Han, chairman of Union of Myanmar Travel Association (UMTA), said,
The boxers abroad have been invited to the international challenge, addition to Myanmar boxers. We hope that we will be able to hold international boxing tournaments on a grand scale in the future. International tourism boxing enthusiasts will be able to be invited to our country through those boxing events. The main aim is to attract the attention of international boxing audience through tourism sector.
Two of 3 fights ended in draws in Myanmar traditional boxing events. Zin Ray won against Aga Pyo Tontuen in the fight. The 7 fights in the international challenge attracted the attention of the spectators. The 7 fights included 2 matches between Laos and Myanmar, 1 between Myanmar and Thailand, and 1 draw. Thai boxer Boon Lai won against Myanmar boxer Thein So. Myanmar boxers saw victories in the remaining 3 matches. Myanmar boxer So Ba Hain secured a win in the first round, fighting against Thai boxer Wachra. Myanmar boxer Thuy Tim Maung beat Thai boxer Komkrit in the first round. Myanmar boxer Thuy Tim Win Lai saw a win victory over Jan Ra in the first round through upper hand position. Thuy Tim Maung, a Myanmar traditional boxer, said,
I would like to fight against foreign boxers rather than Myanmar boxers. My fight against the foreign boxer was better as the opponent was not Myanmar national.
Myanmar traditional boxing is not the same as international boxing. The advantages of Myanmar traditional boxing are bare fists, a short rest request, and headbutt. It is not point system. No knockdown at the end of the fight is a draw. If one knocks down, it will be a win, according to Myanmar Lethwei Association.
That's a report on 3 Myanmar boxers winning in UMTA Lethwei Challenge 2020. And now we have an information on currency rates from Myanmar's central bank. $1 is at 1,464 kyats. 1 Chinese renminbi is at 211 kyats. 1 euro is at 1,637 kyats. 1 pound sterling is at 1,931 kyats. 1 Singapore dollar is at 1,086 kyats. 1 Malaysian ringgit is at 357 kyats. 1 Thai baht is at 48 kyats, and the Indian rupee is at 20 kyats. Gold is trading at $1,586. Silver is at $18, and Brent crude oil is at $63. On the Yangon Stock Exchange, FMI is at 11,000. MTSH is at 3,800. MCB dropped 100 and it's at 8,100. FPB dropped 500 and it's now at 22,500. TMH remains at 2,900. You're with MI Radio's Myanmar Today. You can log on to our website at miradio.com.mm and catch many other great programs of MI Radio on the website. We're also running on 96.1 FM in Yangon, 96.5 in Mandalay, and 96.7 in Naypyidaw. Alternatively, you can download our app on both iOS and Android platforms. It's easy to search. Just type in Myanmar INTL Radio and you'll find the app. Download it on your devices so you can listen to our radio programs on the go. Stay with us as we bring you more reports on Myanmar Today. The world's largest lesson for Sustainable Development Goals, organized by UNICEF and youth organizations AIESEC, will give lecture about food waste and recycling process to students all around Yangon on Wednesday in Myanmar for the first time. Our reporters Pomo and Soyedana went to the press release at YTU. Here's the report.
The World Largest Lessons, organized by the UNICEF and AIESEC, will give lecture about the Sustainable Development Goal to primaries and high school students in coming January 8. The World Largest Lessons was held in many different countries since it is started, but this is the first time for Myanmar as a host country. The volunteers from AIESEC, which is one of the youth organizations around the world, will lead in teaching the SDG Goal number 12. Responsible consumption and protection, especially focus on reduce food waste and recycling nature to government students between 7 to 13 years old all around Yangon. The Sustainable Development Goals are the collection of 17 global goals designed to be a blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. The SDG set in 2015 by the United Nations General Assembly. The project head of World Largest Lesson for Myanmar, Quỳnh Nguyen, tell more about why they choose SDG Goal number 12 in World Largest Lesson event.
So, Mingalaba, my name is Quỳnh Nguyen and I'm from Vietnam and I'm currently the national head of Global Volunteer Program, AIESEC in Myanmar, and I'm also the project head of World Largest Lesson in Myanmar 2020. Now we all care about climate change, and climate change is a problem that we need to solve in the future, otherwise the world would just be destroyed of the disaster. So, SDG number 12 is really connected with the climate change because it wants us to change the way we use the production. It changes the way we use plastic bag, for example, and it's really relevant to Myanmar because as a foreigner living in Myanmar, I can see that people here, we are not really aware of the way we use the plastic bag or bottled water and everything. So we think that it is really important to change the way people think about that. And the young young children are the most, the most important ones because they will be the generation in the future. Yeah, that's why. So the biggest difficulty is in approaching the schools because at the school they are quite worried. They were really worried that whether AIESEC is a real organization, let's say, or whether if this project bring the benefits to the children. So we did face a lot of difficulty in reaching out to the schools, but fortunately, for the facilitator, it was really easy for us to recruit the FACI because AIESEC is really.
Quinn, the project head of World Larger Lessons, also said in reality, it is very difficult to change the mindset of people in 1 hour. This can be the foundation when World Larger Lessons set the first foundation for the society. Since World Larger Lesson is in partnership with UNICEF, they target to raise awareness about SDG to reduce food waste and help young people to understand their role as citizens for better society. 300 volunteers and facilitators from all around the universities are trained themselves for World Larger Lessons. As AIESEC became famous in Myanmar around 2014, and now it has a lot of youth participate in the organization. Aung Bain Pyo, the president of AIESEC, said what he expects more about World Larger Lessons and SDG goal.
အဲ့ဒီပေါ့နော်ကျွန်တော်ရဲ့ personally အရာကဒီကလေးတွေကိုဒါကျွန်တော် SDG နဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးတော့ဒီ sustainable development ပေါ့နော်ရေရှည်ဖွင့်
The sustainable development goals which should implement in 2030 is usually focused on children and youth. But now in Myanmar, children from middle school to high school haven't known about SDGs. Some didn't hear about it. So in my personal opinion, instead of lecturing to the youth about SDGs, children are better because in 2030 or the next 10 to 11 years, they will become youth. They can do the projects of SDGs, including poverty awareness for climate change to eliminate. I'm so happy the children will get mindset about SDGs. In the next year, we will try to focus on garbages. And the coming year, we will try to focus on other issues.
တင်မှာလုပ်ဖို့ရရှိပါတယ်တခြား issue တွေဟုတ်
Here, 1.3 billion of food has been wasted and 2,000 people all around the world face starvation. In Yangon, 82% of food has been wasted from the house, declared by the Yangon City Development Committee. In the World Larger Lesson, the facilitator will lecture how to reduce food waste and how to recycle the used item like plastic bottles.
That's a report on World's Largest Lesson that will be held on Wednesday. And here's the last report on split view on poultry-fish farming. Myanmar Livestock Federation, with the aim to integrate poultry-fish farming, is hoping to improve productivity of the farm and reduce the cost of running the farm. However, there is some disagreement between Myanmar Livestock Federation and Myanmar Fisheries Federation on this issue. Williamson will tell us more.
Myanmar Livestock Federation, with the aim to reduce the cost of running livestock, wants to farm both fish and chicken in one place, which should be integrated together. The farmers are also in favor of adopting this method, hoping to reduce the amount of workforce necessary to run the business. At the same time, they also claim that integrated poultry-fish farming will be greatly productive and beneficial to them. Therefore, almost all the business persons who run poultry-fish farming want to adopt this newly drafted method of farming. However, the domestic farmers, along with Myanmar Livestock Federation, are not aware of the international market of fishery products safety. On 6th of January, Myanmar Livestock Federation held a meeting with Myanmar Fisheries Federation to find out whether Myanmar Fisheries Federation will be in favor of adopting this newly introduced integrated poultry-fish farming. Speaking to the media, Dr. Nathan, the vice chairman of Myanmar Fisheries Federation, said,
Myanmar Livestock Federation has been saying that there is no side effect on integrated poultry-fish farming. But from our point of view, there are a lot of challenges because if we are ready, Saudi Arabia will come anytime to inspect the way we breed fish here in Myanmar to see whether our fish is qualified to export to their market or not. In this process of inspection, we cannot just ignore and leave behind all these integrated poultry fish farming. It was said that if the farms which are to be inspected are well maintained, it is alright, but we don't accept that. The reason for the delay of the inspection process from Saudi Arabia is we have not found enough qualified farms, and in addition to that, if we insist on adopting this method, that will bring a big loss to international fish market for our nation.
There's only a handful of EU-approved fish farming processing in Myanmar, which can be shown to Saudi Arabia for the inspection. But integrated poultry-fish farming will definitely be an obstacle to the improvement of fishery products export in the international market for Myanmar, according to Myanmar Fishery Federation. However, according to Myanmar Livestock Federation, integrated poultry-fish farming is the most productive farming method for the business persons, and the Federation also insists that so far there is no side effect ever found by consuming integrated poultry-fish farming. Speaking to the media, Dr. Lethwei, Secretary of Myanmar Livestock Federation, said,
For centuries, people have been practicing this integrated farming system where duck and fish are reared together. As this farming method is called aquaculture in English, where we find the combination of two words, aqua and culture. This is all about fishery farming. So for the fish to grow well, they need proper food, such as algae, and in order to have algae, we must use fertilizers or other alternative source to do that. That is why integrated farming can help algae grow for fish food.
As some of the countries no longer import fish from Myanmar due to increasing number of integrated farming in Myanmar, Myanmar Fishery Federation recently requested the government to intervene on behalf of exporters to suspend this integrated farming. But the result has not come out yet. The reasons for prohibiting three-dimensional farming model of fish, duck, chicken, and pig are food safety, as a large number of pathogens and parasites in pig manure can cause food safety problems, and most of developed nations give importance to food safety. Therefore, this developed nation will not consider food from poorly reared farming. This is Williamson for MI Radio.
That's all the reports on Myanmar Today. Time to look at the world through the international landscape now. Iran launched more than a dozen ballistic missiles targeting at least 2 US-led coalition military bases in Iraq early on Wednesday, local time. The Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps confirmed the strikes were in retaliation for last week's killing of top general Qasem Soleimani, according to Iranian state TV. The Pentagon, which said at least a dozen ballistic missiles were fired, acknowledged the strikes but has not made any comment on casualties. The missile launches come days after US President Donald Trump ordered the killing of top Iranian general Qasem Soleimani, who died in a drone strike in Baghdad airport on Friday. In other news, Puerto Rico Governor Wanda Vazquez declared a state of emergency and activated the National Guard on Tuesday after a series of earthquakes, including one of magnitude 6.4 that was the most powerful to strike the Caribbean island in 102 years. At least one person was killed and several injured in the quakes, which provoked a protective power outage across the entire island and cut off drinking water to 300,000 consumers, according to Vazquez, who later toured damaged areas. Reports indicate that at least 346 people were left homeless as homes were flattened, mostly in the south of the island. Ivanka Trump is not a woman in tech, so says software designer Brianna Wu in response to Trump's keynote speech at CES on Tuesday. Several women in technology have criticized CES' choice of having Trump at the event's headliner. They say there are many other women making strides that should have been speaking. So, how are women making strides in tech? CGTN talked to several women at CES to get their views on how women are making a difference in the tech field and what changes are still needed. See what they had to say.
When I first started coming to CES, I got a lot more mansplaining and the assumption that I was a booth babe and did not work with the company. And I haven't actually experienced that in the past 3 years at all.
In tech, there are definitely more men than women. However, ideas are gender neutral, and it's important to let your voice be heard and speak out and voice your opinions.
Well, that's a wrap, and thanks for joining me on Myanmar Today. I am Henry Zin. I'll see you again tomorrow. Goodbye now.